But I just want to be clear. These are very separate issues. And I'm endowing and funding a chair for somebody who saved my life.
Well, who was suggesting you weren't?
You.
How was I suggesting?
Never mind.
Well, you're not attempting to buy silence from someone at Indiana University Hospital with your donation because there's nothing to keep silent, right?
Well, I'm sure you would love to paint that.
Why do you say that?
Because that's the tone of this entire case. The speculation and innuendo and rumor and second and third and fourth hand information.
Okay. Are any of the allegations Mr. Walsh makes in his book regarding you true?
I didn't read the book.
Have you read any portions of it, translated, or have you just been told what it says?
Pick up bits, and the press picks up the juiciest stuff. So those are none of what I have seen have been true.
Okay. If you'll give me a few minutes to consult with my colleagues, I'll determine if I have any other questions for you, and then we can conclude if appropriate.
Okay.
You just heard the sound.
I do actually have one question, Mr. Armstrong. In connection with your training regimen for the Tour de France from '99 to 2004, would your training ever include use of a hypoxal tent?
Hypoxal, no.
Hypoxic?
Hypoxic, yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what that is, since I thought it was hypoxal?
It is either a tent or a cubicle that simulates high altitude.
Okay. Is this while you're in the race, not physically on the bike, but I mean during the course of the Tour de France, or is this a training regimen before you start the race?
Most likely before.
Is this one of the techniques used by Dr. Ferrari, or is this a training technique that you have on your own?
No, it's a commonly used tool in cycling, in endurance sport. Okay. Or there are other methods similar to that.
The other question I had was, we served a deposition notice in connection with your appearance here. Have you seen that deposition notice? Were you provided a copy of it by your counsel?
No.
Have you brought any documents today to produce in connection with that deposition notice?
I can help you with that too. I think all but the last two requests were identical. The requests for production were already served that we either objected to or provided responsive documents to. And then on the last two categories, he didn't have any responsive documents.
Okay, I appreciate that. Last thing is, Mr. Herman, if you will represent on the record that Mr. Armstrong will attend the hearing so that he can be questioned live. In exchange for that, I will accommodate his schedule, whatever it is, in terms of the order of our presentation. I'm prepared to pass the witness.
As I indicated to you, he'll be available the 12th and the 13th of December, and he'll be in Dallas at the hearing, and he'll be available for cross-examination or direct examination, whichever course it takes.
Okay. And are you prepared to make him available if the hearing is continued?
To January 9? I don't know. I haven't checked with him about that.
Will you? Because
yeah,
obviously that won't do me any good if the hearing's being continued. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I haven't checked with him about that, so I'll check with him when we take a break.
I just want an assurance that you will make him available at some point during the hearing, whenever it is.
Well, let me do it. Let me put it this way: if the hearing is continued, okay, then we'll make him available to either continue his deposition, what you would have asked him otherwise, or bring him live on January the 9th. I just haven't checked with his calendar.
Or any day during the hearing that he can be available for. Right. It doesn't have to be a particular day.
I'll agree with that.
Okay, that's acceptable.
And can I just say for the record, I had another surf trip to Cabo planned for 12th and 13th and 14th. But I won't miss this test. I'll be there.
Okay. All right. I'll trade places with you if you prefer.
Sure.
Okay. I have no further questions, Mr. Armstrong. I appreciate your time and appearing here today.
I got just a couple of questions by way of clarification.
How about it?
Lance, you recall Mr. Tillotson asking you about some alleged testimony from Frankie and Andreu having to do with pills, small pills that you were taking at, or allegedly told Frankie you were taking at different stages of a race. And you indicated that that was not accurate. On reflection, do you have a possible explanation of what that could have been, at least?
Could have been, yeah, and I do, yes. That could have been common everyday caffeine, which I have to say I sometimes take on long days or tough days. But of course, caffeine being a substance that's over the counter and detectable and controlled, you know, even gels like a power gel or something has amounts, as advertised, has amounts of caffeine. So it could have been, I'm not trying to put words in Frankie's mouth, it could have been caffeine.
All right. And if you were taking caffeine, I take it that the amounts of while it's permissible to take caffeine, you're limited in certain amounts. If you test over a certain amount, that would be a banned substance.
Correct.
Okay.
I think, because I know they took it off and then they put it on, they took it off. I don't know where it stands now.
All right. But
all the while it was to a certain limit.
Okay. And in those instances, would it be normal for you to take them at various stages of the race, at 100 kilometers, 50 kilometers, whatever?
Well, you could. I would only take one.
Okay. Now, Mr. Tillotson, I'm sure inadvertently, asked you whether or not the contracts would all go away when you were talking to him about a variety of contracts that you had with various sponsors and whatnot, as well as the team. That the contracts would all go away if there was any connection or any allegation of being involved with performance-enhancing substances. Tell us, I think you said yes, but tell us what you meant by that answer, yes.
I meant that if I had a positive test that was fully tried and adjudicated, or whatever we call that, of course they would go away. But
go ahead.
Obviously, rumor overseas or speculation in certain articles would not cause them to go away, because we have 10 years of history there that shows that they don't. That the performances and the reputation has never been questioned by a partner.
All right. And was your association or your contract with Discovery, was that entered into before or after the publication of David Walsh's book?
It was entered into after.
Other than SCA, has any contracting party ever refused to perform or meet its obligations based upon rumors and innuendos like such as we're dealing with here?
Nope, never.
And of course, you don't have any contract with SCA in any event.
Of course not.
That's all I have.
Where are you going in Cabo?
My days of the whereabouts program are done, man.
Fair enough, fair enough. I have no questions. Pass the witness.
143 authorized.
We'll reserve.